Inspirational. You know she has 5 children, right? But they're how was your
I know,
oldest?
I always say no, but I'm not the first person to have 5 kids. But I just think for me, sometimes when I explain things, I'm like, yeah, but I've got 5 kids under 6 years.
Yeah.
And then I have almost 11-month-old. He's 11 months and 2 days.
Wow. I'm saying she's
we're
working.
We're done.
We thought we were working.
How many do you have?
We only have 2. 2 under 2. She turned 2 on Saturday last week.
What's their gap?
18 months, sorry. Look at me. Bad.
Yeah.
So hey guys, welcome back to the Bride's Room. Happy New Year. As you can see, I'm kind of getting better, but I still have a little bit of a cough. So sorry guys. But guys, welcome back to the Bride's Room. I hope you had an amazing festive season. I hope you had a happy new year. We're back with another episode. And today, we're putting a little spin on things today. So usually we have like the 2022 brides, 2024, 2025. But today we are taking it all the way back to 2015. And so in the building we have Swodei. Woo! Can I get a round of applause, please? Woo! Swodei.
Hi, guys.
Swodei. Hi, Swodei. How are you?
I'm really well.
Good.
I'm fine. How are you?
I'm good. Welcome to the Bride's Room.
I can't believe I'm here.
I can't believe you're here.
I actually watch this podcast all the time. I'm just like, yeah, this is so good. I wish I had it when I was a bride.
Honestly, I wish I had it when I was a bride. Obviously, yeah. I'm happy it's my podcast, but I know the feeling oh so well. And so I'm really honoured that you watched the Bride's Room, because I remember watching your wedding when you got married on YouTube all those years ago. And so, I just thought it would be really, really cool to have you in the Bride's Room. And I'm really, really happy you are here. There's so many questions that I have personally, but I also did put out on my Instagram story that you're coming into the Bride's Room. Really? And so we got some questions from the viewers as well.
We love questions from the viewers.
So it should be a good one. I think it's a bit different because usually when I have brides, I go, how was wedding planning? How was it being a bride this year? And obviously it's been so different because it's been, nearly 10 years for you?
Literally, it'll be 10 years in a couple of weeks.
That's it'll be 10 years in a few days, you said?
In a few weeks. So,
a few weeks.
February, middle of February.
Oh, amazing.
It will be
so let's do a toast to that. Congratulations. Clink, clink. You made it to your 10th year anniversary.
By the grace of God.
10 years from being a bride. So I wanted to ask, firstly, so 10 years. A little birdie told me you're planning your 10th year anniversary.
We are.
She changed all the... So a little birdie told me that you're having your 10th year, you're currently planning your 10th year wedding anniversary.
We are. We're planning our 10-year wedding anniversary, so it's a vow renewal.
Nice.
So, yeah.
So what's that all about for someone someone that's listening, they're not currently a bride, they're a little bit of a younger listener, and so they don't know, they ain't got a clue, like, what's that? What's that?
For us, it's a choice. It's not a must. It's what we wanted to do. When we initially got married, and I want to use the word allowed very loosely, but at the time, we were serving in a ministry, and the pastor who was going to be doing our wedding or our marriage, ordaining it, was basically just more on the lines of follow the guidelines of the vows, and we want to do our own vows to each other. And the thing about couples, when they say their vows, I'm like, guys, these are vows you're making to God. You're not making it to the person you're with. You're making it to God about the person you're with. So I'm like, it's been 10 years. A lot of grace has gotten us here.
Really?
So yeah, I just want to renew my vows to God, and I want it to be from my heart and onto God's air. And I also want to do it in front of and to my husband, just so he knows how great he is and how fantastic he is and how blessed I am to have him.
Oh my God.
And how blessed he is to have me.
Don't cry now, girl. I'll try not to cry. Wow, how beautiful.
Thank you.
That is beautiful. I love that. Yeah. I really, really, really love that. And it's true. Like, I think I did an episode on it recently anyway about wedding vows with a registrar. She came on a celebrant, sorry. She came on recently and explained like the whole vow process. And I think it's something that a lot of people, myself included, don't really take that seriously when you plan your wedding. You're so focused on decor, dress, this, that. Mummy, daddy.
Like that's where people get lost.
You forget about the most important. I wish I just took 30 minutes of my day to just sit down and just write those vows and actually just like speak them from the heart. Honestly. Like you said, to God's ears, about my husband to be at the time. I think that's beautiful. And I think you're so blessed, and it's so lovely to have someone that is 10 years down the line that's about to do the process again as well. Yeah. I think we need to see more of that. So it's very lovely to have you.
Hopefully we will.
Yeah, and fingers crossed we will. Fingers crossed we will. So obviously this is the bride's room. So what I wanted to do is do like a comparison, because you're basically what, a 2025 bride again?
Girl, do you know what's funny? I keep saying to people like, no, I'm not a bride.
You are a bride.
However, I am. My friends are actually doing a bridal shower for me because I never had one last time.
Way.
I had a hen night, but not a bridal shower.
Really?
And I'm a really sentimental person. Hence why we're doing the
vows.
Well.
Yeah.
And literally, that being said, I'm like, I want a bridal shower. So they made it happen.
That is so cute. So you're 2025 bride. I can't wait to see the content then. Okay, so 2025 bride. How has wedding planning gone for you? Like, what is I want to know it all. Like, what's the difference? When you got married 2015, and I guess you were planning it. How long were you engaged that time? Were you like engaged for like 2 years?
2.5 years.
Oh, so you got engaged in 2013 then, I take it.
Oh gosh, I have to do the math. Yeah.
Or 2012.
2012, the end of 2012. So my husband, then boyfriend, he proposed to me on his 24th birthday. So November the 25th. And I think it was 2012. So yeah, 2013 would have made it, 2014. And then we got married February 2015. So yeah, 2012.
Wow. That is beautiful. So you had a good amount of time to get married at the time. Are we allowed to talk things like budget or no?
Oh, yeah.
So what was the budget those times?
Okay.
I want to know, what was it planning like then and what's the difference now?
Okay. There's a big difference, I'd say. However, planning then, my husband or then fiance, we were very much very not budget people. So it was kind of like, no, but it's like if you want something, just let's just do
You're
that.
preaching to the
kind of
choir
thing.
right now.
I wouldn't advise this.
Same.
Okay?
Shock.
Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do what we
Not
did.
in this
'cause
economy.
honestly, and especially not in this economy.
Yeah.
And from what I hear, what I even see on the other episodes, I'm like, pardon me.
Yeah, it's a madness.
But I think at the time, for me, my family, I've got a very big family, especially on my mum's side. On my dad's side, I've got a really big family too, but they're more, I don't want to say estranged, but we're not as close.
Yeah, I get you.
At the time, I think I was like the first official, like, white wedding like that. So it was a big deal. And my husband is the oldest of
Child.
two. Yeah, he's the oldest child of two. And I think he's one of the oldest out of his cousins as well.
Oh, God, yeah.
So it was a big deal.
Showdown.
Yeah. It was a showdown, literally. So because of that, we already kind of were expecting big. And it's funny because on the way here, I passed our venue and I was
it's
like,
right next
oh my
door,
gosh,
isn't it? Yeah.
we got married there.
Yeah.
So it's just crazy sometimes when it takes you back to that place.
Yeah.
I remember viewing venues and I was looking for a venue that could hold at least 350 people.
Wow.
In my head
At
now,
least, you know that's some people's max.
in my head now, that is completely absurd. I would never do that
At
again.
least 350.
Not even.
Not even like around. You said the minimum 350.
The funniest thing is, in hindsight, we had 44 tables that sat 10 people, round tables in the hall.
Oh my God.
Or in the venue.
Yeah.
So that's 440 people. And there were still people standing up at the back.
Oh my God. And this is your white wedding?
This was my white wedding.
Oh, wow. Okay. Did you do a trad, by the way?
We did do a trad, but we done an actual traditional trad. So it was literally in-house.
Oh, okay.
In the
Smaller.
home.
Yeah, okay.
Like a knock-in.
Oh, wow.
We still had stuff like dowry and all that stuff. And then after the tradition... Do you know what? In my day...
Yeah.
I remember this was a long time ago.
Yeah.
So we got engaged 2012. And then, so it was rolling into 2013. So we were supposed to celebrate our engagement and do the traditional ring and Bible, etc. At it was March, I think, March 2023.
Yes, okay.
2023, wow. 2013.
Oh, yeah, I got what you meant.
It was meant to be March 2013. And my cousin got murdered.
God,
it was a
sorry
sad
about
time.
that.
It was crazy. It was absolutely crazy. So we pushed back the date by like a month and a half. So we ended up celebrating in April, the middle-ish end of April.
Yeah.
And when we did, those times, you see traditionals that you lot are seeing today. There was not traditionals like that.
Yep.
And sometimes I'm like, oh, I feel a bit robbed that I didn't know. But at the same time, I'm like, no, I don't feel robbed, because firstly, my husband is fully Sierra Leonean.
Yeah.
I'm from Sierra Leone and Nigeria.
Oh, you're half Nigerian as well.
I'm closer to my Sierra Leonean side. So I don't know as much of the Nigerian tradition as I should. And not just that, I'm not Yoruba. My dad is Ijo. So he's Rivers.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That type
so they're the ones that I think they do, like the men do the wrapper and the stick.
Oh,
and, like,
I know. It's similar to
hat, sort
I
of.
think it's the Shakiri.
Yeah, they're not far from the
vibe.
Shakiri people.
Yeah.
So we did that traditional for the knock-in and all of that. And we kind of merged a little bit of Sierra Leonean culture with it.
Okay, nice.
But we kept it simple, and I never felt robbed at the time. We went to the hall afterwards and had like an engagement party, which was quite classy and cute. It wasn't like traditional.
But that was the
all.
norm those days, though.
And that's my point.
You know what? I'm going to take my flowers. I'm so sorry. I feel like after our trad, I feel like that's when trad started, because... Yeah, I'm going to say it. Maybe I'll edit this part out. Maybe I'm just feeling a bit brave right now. Don't flog me. But I will say it's only a recent thing where people are taking trads to like the next level.
To, it's not the next level.
I'll say that's because of us, though. I'm not going to lie.
I think it's crazy. And I mean, if that's what you want, that's beautiful.
I loved it,
I always say, like, if you like it, I love it.
Yeah.
I just want your marriage to...
Make sense.
And not just that, I want your marriage to mimic that celebration, you know? I think in this generation, we get lost in the excitement. And even it's funny because in 2015, when I actually had my white wedding, I remember Snapchat had just peaked.
Yes.
Instagram weren't popping like that yet.
Snapchat
had just peaked.
I think you could like, was it the stories you could save? You could start saving stories now.
Snapchat had just peaked. Like everyone was like Snapchat. And I remember, you know, like when they introduce you into your reception.
Yes.
So we would, me and my husband danced coming down.
So you're viral on Snapchat. That is so funny.
And started Snapchatting, and that went
wait. Yeah. He was Snapchatting his own.
He literally went around like that. And that literally went viral. And I remember hearing later, like, I remember seeing your wedding. Like, your wedding was a rave.
Yeah, because you know,
first I used to be like, but in hindsight now, I'm like, God forbid.
Someone comes and says my wedding's a rave. Yeah, like
That's
after all the money you spend. No, but them times it was lit. I because those are the weddings that I grew up on. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, it was.
So I would be like, oh my God, do you see that blue wedding? Do you see that? So and so was this and this. Yeah, no. Everyone would have a color, and you would see on Snap like hella like you know, the circles, and everyone's either wearing blue today or they're wearing pink today, and you know, okay, this event is popping off today, kind of thing. And obviously, 100%. I would imagine it was probably like that as well when 100%. It was your wedding day. So I think that was at the time it was kind of cool to have a lit wedding. Like, who doesn't want a lit wedding? Like, well, anyway.
No, it was lit. I can't even lie. Like in hindsight, when I even watch back the wedding video, I'm like, damn, this was lit.
Yeah,
this was It was the days where Bobby Shmurda, that song.
Hey, and then gonna hot nigga.
That was that time when that song was raining. So I remember when we even came out in like I came out with my bridesmaids and my gele girls. So I had a few more of my friends, and we wore like silver and royal blue, and it looked banging.
Ooh,
like it looked so sweet. And I remember when they came out, when we got to the center, like that song came on.
What, you danced with Bobby Shmurda?
No, we came out to Doro Bucci.
Oh, okay. That's like, very feminine, very bridal.
Yeah, it was sick. No, but it was sick. Like the way everyone came out it was really nice. Like I enjoyed it. But when they got to the center, Bobby Shmurda came on, and it's like the whole crowd just came out their seats. It was just like, and I remember just like dancing, being like, "Oh my God!" Like I was looking around, like,
this was what? Us. Was this not us on our wedding day? There was a moment we stood on stage here, and we looked around the room, and we're like, "I've never been to a wedding like this in my life."
This
is so lit. Like
that's the thing. So even after like I was just like, "Whoa!" Like this is intense. Like, I was a bit shocked because I was just like, I knew it was going to be a lot of people, but I didn't. The thing is, we had other people that were coming in the evening.
Oh, so this wasn't even the
evening
party.
People had now come.
Oh my God.
So we had eaten, we had done the speeches, all that stuff. So now the evening people had come, and it was just kind of like, damn, this is whoa.
No, but that I think that's what probably me growing up on seeing weddings like that. That is what inspired me to have the kind of wedding that I.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I was like, oh my God, all these lit weddings I'm seeing on YouTube. Like, I want to be one of these people one day, kind of thing. Obviously, not necessarily like that, but I wanted to always have like a really like fun, cool wedding kind of thing. I think a question that I want to ask is, looking back, would you have done it? You're now 10 years down the line, and you know the whole saying is like, you know, oh, you're going to regret the money that you spend. Yeah. Or just start the life and don't worry about, you know all the generic statements are made about those kind of weddings. You have lived 10 years now into the married life, right? And so I want an answer to that statement, those questions. Should we not be spending that money? Should we just do small intimate weddings and call it a day?
Do you want me to be honest?
Yeah.
You should be doing intimate weddings and calling it a day.
No.
Yeah.
Really?
Do you know why? Because the intimate wedding can still be lit. Yeah. I feel like in hindsight, when I look back, I always say, where are half of those people?
Okay.
Not even half is too small. Where are 3/4 of those people?
But my question to you, did you when you invited those people, did you think, oh yeah, this person's still going to be in my life 5 years down the line?
Did I even think that
especially
far?
for like the evening group?
Yeah, I weren't thinking like who's going to be in my life. I just thought, oh yeah, who loves me, who loves us, and who's part of my church at the time.
Oh,
and
really? You thought like
who's,
that?
Like in my community. Yeah, like I was more like who's celebrating us.
Oh, really?
I didn't think of it like who do I see in my life long term. And that's what I'm saying. It back then, there was not so many rules and regulations to weddings.
Yeah.
You know? And I think 10 years on, in my mind, I'm like, what I would advise people is prepare your celebration according to how you want your marriage to be. I think people always just get lost in the sauce.
No, but if the friendship is lit right now, we're going out every weekend and like, you know, you're showing up for me. You're actively planning, I don't know, participating in, I don't know, the bridal activities at the moment. So it looks like you're kind of going to be in my life 5 years down the line.
I feel like
how do you filter that out? How do you filter people like that seem to be active right now? How do you filter
the
those
thing
people
about
out?
life is that people change, things happen, and sometimes friendships pass their sell by date, or family members do things, and you know, we go, that's fine. But there's people that probably aren't even in your bridal party that you're still inviting, or people that are like, oh, I'm giving this one a +1. I remember also I gave my siblings, I think +2, no, I think +5.
Yeah, +5. Hey,
I think it was
generous.
+5. I think I gave my siblings +5.
Actually, no.
My aunties, my mum's siblings +2, and my husband did the same.
How many people did you guys have in the end, like in total for the wedding?
For the sit down.
By the time you got to the evening of your white wedding,
Yeah.
how many people did you have in total?
Probably like 600.
Wow. But those times then, 600 is a lot of people.
Yeah, 100%. I agree. But I feel like after that, that's when I started seeing big weddings like that.
What, you think you triggered it? Yeah, I feel like sometimes people just see like that one.
I triggered it.
Probably you did. Say it, own it.
No. If I did,
I wasn't seeing it before then, so you know, just saying. Say it.
But that's what I'm saying. I do feel like we probably influenced it, but it wasn't intentional.
Of course, and I don't think anyone.
Think that's what it is.
Oh, I want to. Let's put a pin on that because I want to talk about like the whole influence, like couple to influencer pipeline after. Yeah. Let's park that, and we're gonna unpack that in a second. We're gonna unpack that in a second. But so you had 600 people, cool.
Yeah.
We fast forward half. Can we say half of those people are still in your life from those 600?
Yeah, about
10 years
maybe.
down the line.
But it's not just that. It's not about who's in my life. Do you know what it is? Yeah, where I am today is not where I was 10 years ago. And or even 11 years ago, because that's when you were planning and sending out invitations, etc. I think the way I view marriage now is a ministry. A ministry is not to be played with. I am a spirit-filled, born-again Christian.
Amen.
And if anything, my relationship with God now is way more intimate than it was then. And I think sometimes you can get carried away with all of the glitz and glamour of it
litness,
all, and lost in literally like the sauce, as I said. But the reality is that once that day is finished and you're now living your life of marriage, are these people praying on your behalf for your marriage to be a success? Are they wise counsel? Are they sharpening you or your husband? Or are they talking about you? Or looking for your downfall? Or maybe jealous of you? Or maybe commenting on you behind your back? Or commenting on your actual wedding? Like, it wasn't even all that though. I did for you though. And I'm just like, that, like, to me, there's no way of knowing the future. But I just think be wise when you're sending out invites. You're paying so much money for these people to come and eat your food, drink your drink. Yeah. And to basically do litty.
Yeah, Bobby Schmurder. Shout out to
literally,
Bobby.
literally. But I'm not going to lie, more than half of these people don't even know my children's names.
And it gets like that. It's true.
But it shouldn't be like that.
I feel like the workaround, because I feel like I had the same mindset that you're talking about as a bride in 2020, or I got married in 2022, so let's say 2021, where, okay, I knew the people that I'm inviting to my trids are not necessarily going to be people that I'm going to call.
I hear that.
But I still want to have a really good time. And so I feel like that's why we thought, okay, the workaround is, okay, invite the whole world to the trad. But then for our white wedding, we only had 50 people.
That's gorgeous.
We literally only had 50 people. Is it still wrong to do it that way?
No, not at all. I've heard a lot of people say they're doing it that way, but I've also heard a lot of people say because the traditional is their parents.
I think the two are intertwined.
Yeah.
No, I think the two is intertwined.
But
I think
you said something just now, like you still want to have a really litty time, and I'm like, okay, cool. So now you have to ask yourself, does the people make your time litty, or is it you and your husband? And I think that conflict is. That's not even a question. For this vow renewal, here's the difference.
Let's hear about it.
That everybody in the room will be missing. As in, I'm not focusing on anyone but my husband. My theme is intimacy.
Ooh.
That is the theme of our vow renewal. I want to keep my eyes on him, and I want him to keep his eyes on me. And that's the vibe. Because honestly, there's been times when things have been rocky, and not even necessarily rocky as in between the two of us, just in life. And he's the one that's had my back, and I'm the one that's had his back. And it's been us together praying to God, and it's been him praying for me or me praying for him, him encouraging me or me encouraging him. And I'm just like, no one else matters. And I think, again, I keep saying, in this society, sometimes we're seeing wedding versus marriage. And
Pastor,
sorry, I have to do that.
Can we get some? Wedding. We already know the title today. Wedding versus marriage.
We're seeing wedding versus marriage.
Yeah.
And I'm like, honey, the wedding will come, it will go. It's only 24 hours.
Yeah, I know. But you know it's
the
a tough
marriage
one.
is what you should really be hoping and wishing well for and putting in the work for.
Okay, but I want to speak for the viewers because it's so hard. Yeah, I'm going to be honest. It's so hard sitting there watching a Swodei or watching an Aisha that had the YouTube, the Snapchat, not Instagram virality.
I agree.
It's so hard watching the babes that have done it,
and then
they'll say, "Oh no, just have two people."
Yeah,
because I'm not gonna lie. As much as I agree with everything you're saying, and I think everything you're saying makes complete sense, I'm so team lit. It's unbelievable. I'm so team
you don't know who I'm married to.
And like I'm so
my husband's an enjoyment in this stuff.
You know,
but I think planning this time round, I've also clocked it. We sent out 100 invites, and that's small for us because if we try to have 50, that's my immediate family. Yeah, my mum alone has
100 for the. Is it in the UK?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, that's nice. That's good.
We're not going anywhere.
Okay.
Because term time, I've got 5
children.
Oh
yeah. Oh my God, So praise God.
My mum's got 12 grandchildren. So 12 grandchildren. Then there's.
And all the grandbabies are coming to the white wedding.
Yeah. Well,
I mean, Auntie can't.
5 of them are mine.
Bro.
Yeah, 5 of them are mine.
Wow.
So,
okay, yeah, go on.
They're coming, and hopefully they're the only kids coming.
Yeah. He said hopefully. So what, can you still get a pop-up amount of guests on this 100 intimate wedding?
What do you mean?
Like, are there people that could possibly come up without announcing their attendance?
No.
Oh,
you
okay.
have to RSVP.
Okay.
But we are thinking to invite 20 more people to the evening.
Oh, you guys just like me and Les, man. It's so funny.
It's hard.
It's so hard. You're like,
and it's
okay, we're only meant to do 100. You know it's going to be 150, right?
One thing about me, I don't like to sound... I don't want to boast in me.
Yeah.
I'm just a girl.
Yeah, yeah.
But it's better to boast in God. But it's like sometimes you think, this person's going to be vexed. And I kind of said to my husband, like, now this time around, we just can't be mad if someone's mad. Who cares?
Yeah.
Like, it's not really about them. That's not what it's about. It's literally about us and the journey. And you know what? 2024 has been a very trying year. I've said that every year has been a different year, but this year's been the year where our vows in sickness and in health has been tried.
Wow. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
You know, there's different vows you say. For richer, for poor, we've already. Well, I said for
Richer for richer, yeah.
and by the grace of God,
Amen.
our marriage has flourished in richness. And I'm
Amen.
not talking. I remember when our wedding went viral, I got dragged.
Why?
By especially the Nigerian bloggers. Yeah.
Why?
She's a gold digger.
Oh my
and,
God.
You know, she just wants his money, and I just and just all this thing. Look at her. She's marrying for money, not love. And I just said, look how
That's
stupid some people can be, because
yeah.
we've been together for 7 years. We got married on our 7th year anniversary, the same day we started going out.
Oh, that's so lit.
Yeah, so we started going out February 21st, 2008. So that need to be explained.
Can I just ask, because whilst we're on the topic of richness, I want to just quickly go back to when we were talking about your white wedding and the budget. So what was the budget them times for the
We never had one.
So, okay, so what do you think your expenditure ended up being?
It was about 42.5.
Which is a lot of money. It's even in today's economy, but 10 years ago.
What do you mean? When I rounded that up, I was gobsmacked. I said, is that what we came to do? And you know,
10 years
after
ago,
the wedding's finished, that's when you start.
You feel it. Oh yeah, you feel it.
No, that's when you start being like, oh, it was lit.
Yeah,
for 42K.
Like, that's mad. Okay, so you spent 42K. Then and even now, someone's gonna hear that figure and be like, "What are you actually talking about?" Like.
And you have every right to be saying that.
Of course. But then, I don't know how to ask this question, but like, do you feel like, you know, because you spent that 42K on your wedding, do you feel like it made you could have been richer as a couple? Do you think it had do you feel like you feel like you could have been richer?
What do you mean richer? As in...
Because like, did it make you so broke that
no.
like, you know, it effed up your thing? Because the narrative is that like you've spent 40K on your wedding and you could have put that to something better.
But we could have. And I think that's wisdom.
And I think that's wisdom as well.
Look,
sorry.
What, yeah. If I'm completely honest, my mind frame now and my perspective of life and people, all that enjoyment. I spent half of my wedding just sitting on the stage looking at people thinking, not because I was sad or anything. I was just like in awe. I was in shock. I was kind of like, damn. I've always been that girl that's always wanted to get married.
Yeah.
Like, I've known that from young. Like I always wanted to get married, and I always knew that was like a godly thing. And don't get me wrong, I haven't always been like a spirit-filled Christian.
Yeah.
I was raised a Christian. However, it was because of my parents.
Yeah.
Out of my own doing. I've always wanted to get married, and just like sitting there that day, I was just like, I remember thinking this particular thing, bruh, I'm at my own wedding. Like, I just kept being like,
wow, this is actually, this is how the day actually,
crazy. And it was crazy. And if you know me, I'm quite a strong character. I'm not a fairy at all.
More than a fairy.
I was just so taken aback. Like, I can't believe this is for us.
Was it the shock that like that many people came out for you? Was it a shock that like this is how the day actually...
pizza? I was expecting that many people. Yeah. But it's just that until that day comes, you kind of just you dream about it. But it's now the reality.
Yeah.
So it was kind of like, whoa. I'm at my wedding.
It sounds kind of cool, but then
I got my man. Like, it was like that.
my life, like it's actually happening, and it's always happened because now you're married. Would you say then? Okay, what would you have spent the money on then? How would you have spent that?
Deposit for a home. And it's so funny though, because in hindsight now, if we had even purchased a home, it would have been a hell of a lot cheaper than it is now. Yeah. And we probably would have bought maybe like a 3 or 2 bedroom, and that wouldn't have been enough for the amount.
Yeah, anyway. 5 kids now down the line. You would have had to move out by now.
Yeah. Remortgaging or something by now. But yeah, so we would have probably done that. And especially because one thing I learned really quick after getting married is that like social housing doesn't benefit married couples. Not even a little bit. Not in the UK, not even a little bit.
And why do you say that though?
Because you don't get no support, no help, no nothing. Like, so you know, like there's little things like your council tax is still high as hell.
Yeah.
Like them times as well, like to be housed, you'd have to be on a council register, etc. My husband and I both were from the borough of Lambeth in South London. Okay. And I lived with my mum up until the day before I got married.
No way.
Yeah.
Oh wow, okay, cool.
I lived with my mum up until then.
Yeah.
So the first place is again private renting, and to private
So
rent.
you've gone from like your mum's house. And
To
how old were
private
you when
rent.
you got married as well, by the way?
26.
Okay,
I
so not
just
like
turned
baby,
26.
but it's
And then
still
people are
young
always
though.
like to me, you were so young. I'm like, what's that?
I feel like that's
feel like it.
Yeah, I feel.
I thought, I don't know.
How did you feel? Did you feel like
Do
you
you
were
know what?
young, or did you feel
I
like it was
didn't
the
think
right
I was
age?
young. I just felt fine. Like, I was happy to get married at that time.
Yeah.
I had been with my husband, or at that time, for 7 years. I said, so since we were 19. So it didn't feel like, oh my God, this is
like,
scary. It felt like, it felt very natural. It felt like this was the right next step. And again, I had desired it. And he was a very well-rounded person because I'm very picky. So he was the right person for me, and I loved that. But in regards to housing, it was just like, okay, private renting. And private renting compared to like council renting is like double the price.
Yeah, the price is there's a
You're
variation.
spending like about 1,200 at that time.
10 years ago.
Yes.
So is it because you wanted to stay in the same area, or why was it?
Do you know what? We were pregnant at the time. We just didn't know. So imagine we signed the contract, everything was moving in.
This was how many months after the wedding? So was this like pretty much like not too far off after the wedding then?
No, so we had lived in Vauxhall for 2 years.
Oh, okay.
I took a pregnancy test because I remember my birthday is 22nd of October, and you know, I was so confused. I was like, I can't find Mother Nature anywhere. But I didn't think I was pregnant.
Oh, you just thought you were stressed or something, or what?
I didn't think anything. Do you know what it is? Yeah, I have been with my husband for so long. I've never had a false alarm. I've never fallen pregnant. So for me, I kind of thought like, there's something wrong. I couldn't get pregnant. We weren't thinking about pregnancy yet. And you know, like, people would ask you, when are you gonna have the baby?
Because just like, whenever.
Obviously, you got married now, especially African culture. And we would just be like 2020. And at that time, 2020
that's so far away.
Way away. But it was just a way to get people to leave us alone. Because they'll be like, 2020. That's so a long time. And you just be like, yeah, 2020. And then, it was 2016. And that was right at the end of 2016. And I remember being like, oh my gosh, I feel nauseous. Anyway, I was about almost 2 months pregnant. I was feeling nauseous and I was trying to hide it from my husband so I could tell him and surprise him on his birthday. And that's what we did.
You actually did that? Because his birthday's not far away from your birthday. It's in November, isn't it?
His birthday is the 25th. But that 25 days of not
How did you do that?
I couldn't. There was so many times I slipped up. I remember one time I said to him, I wonder what your mum's going to say when we tell her. And he was
like, tell her what?
He just said, what did you say? And I was like, I didn't say nothing.
But can we touch on that for a second? And then we're going to get back into wedding stuff for a second, guys. But I want to touch on this very, very quickly. Because I was one of the... I was just a person that just got married, and just got pregnant straight away. So I was pregnant whilst...
Oh, you pregnant whilst?
Yeah, but I didn't know. I didn't know my wedding day, so I was only a few weeks into it by the time I found out. Cool. But I've always wondered, had I not been pregnant, knowing the family that I have, I know I would have had a lot of people being like, oh, so when's the baby going to come? Or when are you guys going to have a baby? And the fact that you actually had a 2 year, 2 years to enjoy your marriage.
Yeah, it was a little bit over 2 years, it was about 2.5 years.
How did you find, because I find it sounds pressurizing. How did you find that experience when you had the elders being like, oh, when are you going to give us a baby and this and that?
Is it your uterus?
But did you actually, how did you actually...
How would I respond to them?
Or how did you feel?
I'll say when we're ready. I'll say why. I'll be like, are you coming to babysit? I feel like they know I'm a bit...
Yeah, but that's a bold character we're talking about there.
Yeah, they know I can be a little bit snazzy. 'Cause I'm just like... I mean, that's crazy to me.
Yeah.
I just feel like if you don't want to have kids straight away, don't. And if I'm completely honest, I might sound biased. To be fair, I would have waited longer,
Is it because you know what you know now, or that's just what you were on before?
Because in our heads, we were like, we're going to purchase a home and do this and do that. I remember once I had one child, it was like...
Yeah, domino effect.
I've just been having children. My husband just likes me a lot.
Well, praise God. Praise God.
But, I just think enjoy each other. what I know now is that you will never get that time back of it just being you and him until they're older and living in their own homes with their own families. And I always say now, I can come here, for example, and it's calm. My kids are with my husband. He can go out and live his best life. And it's fine, the children are with me. But when it comes to us doing things together, I talk about this all the time on my stories and stuff.
Yeah.
On Insta, like, it's difficult because now that I've got 5 young children, who's babysitting 5 kids? Because I know when I didn't
my
have
sister
kids,
would be like, yeah, sis, good luck to you. She said I need to consult if I want to have a third one. So,
and I hear it.
no, I hear it. Okay, so you didn't feel the pressure then, I take it? Or you did feel pressure?
It was annoying.
Annoying.
I wouldn't say that I felt pressurized. I just thought like, oh, come out my business. Like, everyone does things differently. And I'm very much like, sometimes, I don't know why, I feel like this is mainly the African culture. It's like, oh, you're married now. When's the baby coming? I'm just like, I didn't marry to just become like a baby making machine. I actually love and enjoy my husband. I actually love and enjoy my husband.
Oh, that's nice.
I actually want to make memories with him.
Yeah.
And then it's almost like subconsciously I knew there was going to be a change. When I had my daughter, my first child, of course, everything changed.
Your whole world gets rocked.
But do you know what? The only good thing is now that I've got 5 children, I'm like, all the moaning I was doing when I had one child.
Do you know that's the thing? Just hold your lips and just... Because I've got 2 under 2 now, and I'm
because
just like,
anyone would
wow.
want one child.
But the one child, she was my little handbag. I just didn't realise it at the time.
You could really just run out the house.
Carry her and just be going,
go somewhere. You'd be like, real quick. When I had my son...
Oh my God.
That's when I even stopped. I used to be a hairstylist.
So is it? Oh, nice.
I was working for years in a salon. When I had Nova Glory, my first child, my daughter, I went part-time. So my mum would watch her. My husband would pick her up after he finishes work. Then he would come to the salon pick me.
How easy.
So it literally, I used to work Thursday, Friday, every other Saturday. And on the Saturdays, my husband would just have her at home. And I'm telling you, yeah, when I was about to have my son, he was due in May, the beginning of May. I stopped in the salon in April. And it's like I just knew...
That was it? It was game over?
Like, I'm not going to be able to do this anymore. And when he came, this boy was a force to be reckoned with.
Got energy in it.
Huh? Avery Judah.
Energy.
And Mom said, well, you named him Judah.
So, boy.
He was a big boy.
Basically, aunties, if you're watching this, or uncles, anybody, any family member that's watching this, stop being annoying. That's what I've always wondered, and Swodei's given us the answer to the question. Okay, cool. It doesn't come from a bad place, and we need to acknowledge that as well. But you also don't know what people are going through as well.
And
I think
can we just pause and just...
Okay.
That. For me, by God's grace, I wasn't going through anything. It was choice. But there's people that actually get married and want to do it straight away, and they're having a hard time. Let them breathe. Like, it's that perception of, oh, everyone can just...
Yeah.
It's not so easy for everyone. And that's painful to someone. Imagine if you're trying, and someone is just poking.
Yeah, literally.
And there's a lady I follow on Instagram, and I think she got married a year before me. And for years, she was trying to have kids and trying, having IVF, everything. And it wasn't working. And not everyone knew. So I think people would say insensitive things.
Oh, they would just be saying it to her.
So finally, she came out. And she came out with twins.
Oh, wow.
And she kind of showed her twins.
Oh, bless her.
And people were like, oh my God, congratulations. Da, 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 da. But in that time, she had lost, is it quintuplets?
What?
5? Is that 5?
5.
Yeah, quintuplets and triplets. And I'm just like, this is what I'm saying. Sometimes just...
hold your lips.
Because you don't know. And it's, I mean, and also, this is 2024, 2025.
Yeah.
People want to enjoy their maintenance. People just want to practice.
Yeah, exactly. before the real deal. Ask you a few questions from the crowd, if that's okay. Or should we do it? Which way do you want to do it? I also want to talk about, like, because I think there's a like an unspoken topic that no one talks about, which is like this pipeline of like couple. It's like a couple. Oh, thank you. And I don't know how to word this question, but I wanted to talk about it because I do think it's something that happens, which is like I'll speak from my own experience, but I'm sure this definitely happened to you. Whereas you get married, you don't intend for your wedding to go viral. It goes viral. It's everywhere now. It's all over the internet and stuff. And now you have somehow subconsciously signed up to become like some sort of like influencer, or people just following your journey.
Yeah.
So like as soon as I got married, I had like all of these people just like literally just people I have no clue who they are, just following me, and they know so much about me, obviously because of my wedding, and they've just literally just been following the family's journey throughout like the time I've been married. I think that happens to a lot of people, and I think a lot of people subconsciously sign up to that. And I feel like I remember as well in you guys' era of like getting married, I feel like the pipeline was like you have the viral wedding, then you become like a YouTube couple.
I can only talk about my experience.
Okay, what was your experience?
What it is, right? My husband and I had made a YouTube channel together because for our wedding, we had a website. And on the website, we had a Q&A that had been... so the questions were sent in from our bridal party and our ushers and usherettes. Now, for it to be put on the website for our wedding, which was like the RSVP and all that stuff website, it had to kind of go onto like...
YouTube.
Like an uploadable video platform, which was YouTube.
Oh, okay.
So the video had to go onto YouTube, and then we linked the YouTube video onto the website. That is actually the reason why we actually made that video. So from the Q&A is when people started following us.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you were just gaining subscribers.
We were just a couple.
Just because of you. And that's what I'm saying. Like,
was
you just
answering questions about to get married, and people were like, oh my God, I can't wait for the wedding. And it was just kind of like, okay.
Wait, sorry, let's clarify this. The YouTube channel that I was watching possibly all those years ago was you just answering Q&As to your own wedding website.
Go back to the very first video.
And I'm there eating it up like, wow, like...
Yeah, go back to our very first wedding, our very first video. We were sitting in a park on a bench.
Oh my God.
Yeah. And our friend Marv Brown, he's a renowned cinematographer at the time. I don't know if Marv... Yeah, he was still doing weddings, but I think he was more in his come up at the time.
Okay.
So yeah, he recorded us in the park and done the Q&A, and then it went up to our wedding website. So when people were RSVPing, they actually got to see the information, the background information, how we met, how long we've been together, what we're thinking about the wedding, are we excited, all those little things.
Yeah.
And the funny thing is, we got married 2015. The video didn't come out until 2016, you know.
What, for your Q&A?
No, so the Q&A came out straight away.
Yeah.
You got followers on YouTube from that.
Yeah. Oh,
right?
Okay.
And then our actual wedding video that went viral, it came out a year later on our 1-year anniversary. And I remember we got all our bridal party to come to our house, and we basically done like a viewing, had food, all that stuff, and just kind of thanked everyone for being a part of our journey. Yeah. And from there, it went viral. And it went viral because I changed our vows to, instead of saying for richer, for poorer, I said for richer.
And that was it.
And that was what made it go viral, the for richer.
Okay, and so your page was already there anyway. And so everybody was like, subscribe.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense.
Everyone was subscribing.
So obviously, as an outsider looking in, I just thought that at the time, people just got married and then like they went viral and then they made the YouTube page because they've been viral.
The thing is, there was people at the time not going viral, I would say.
But they had YouTube channels anyway.
The thing about it is, if you know me, you'll know I've always been so passionate about relationships. Even when I was single, I was in everyone else's relationship business because I was so interested in it.
Yeah.
In the dynamic of love and healthy love, etc.
Yeah.
And so for me, it was a good... Me and my husband had spoken about 100. I had started...
Oh, so you were already on this anyway. So it's not like, I'm excited. I've got a few followers now and I want to be...
different pages. And it's like, you know, the one that comes natural is the one that you know is God ordained, if that makes sense. Yeah. Like, I had started at 3 different YouTube channels. That's and just crazy. Like not sure what I wanted to talk about and not being conscious because that was the era where YouTube was just kind of on the up.
It was popping.
Like, it was popping, but it wasn't how it is now.
It's not
Like,
structured.
it
Yeah.
wasn't
Now it's like a lot more structured and stuff.
structured,
Yeah.
and there's 1,001 YouTubers.
Yeah.
Them times there was like maybe like a handful, like 40 that everyone knew. That was like maybe 20 in the beauty, 10 for hair,
Yeah.
and like there were probably like 5 for relationships. You know, so me and my husband used to watch it every now and again. Like if I was watching it, he'd watch it with me. So when the wedding went viral, people wanted to dissect the vows. Yeah, the for richer.
But why is it that deep though? So many
I
people say
don't
that now.
know.
Though.
Some people loved it. Some people hated it.
But I don't think it's that deep. Like you're speaking life into your marriage. So
That's
wouldn't
their
you want for richer?
That's why the bloggers came.
That's what the Nigerian bloggers came.
Oh my God,
They came for your ass. Let me not at them now before they start looking for me. I didn't say your name, ma. Please. But yeah.
But no, they literally were like, their marriage won't last. What if he loses his money?
I think that's the worst, you know. I think, you know, one thing I hate is like when I see a bride get married and then like the blogs or just the internet is on. Like, can you just let this person just enjoy this happy period of their life?
And it's
like,
so funny. Again, remember the video came out on our 1-year anniversary.
oh
so
my
I'd only been
God.
married
And you're a
for a year.
sentimental person. For me, someone like me, I wouldn't really care too much about that. But like,
No, I'm sentimental. I don't care what people think though.
okay,
I'm
fair enough.
sentimental. I wouldn't say I'm sensitive.
But I'm saying on your sentimental day, like you're being disturbed.
Yeah. But to be fair, I didn't see it go viral until maybe a month later. You know, sometimes, and to be honest, that video's gone viral like maybe 2 or 3 times.
Oh my God.
And I'm like, oh please,
just leave
let
me
be
alone.
now. Like it's not that deep.
That's annoying. But you know what? I'm glad at the end of the day that you are 10 years down the line. So,
By the grace of God.
and forever to go.
Amen.
Forever to go. What I want to do is ask the questions. I feel like it was a long time now when I put it on my story. Oh, I'm there. So I do a screenshot it. Let me go on my.
Once you find a question,
Yes.
you know that there's a lot of people have a quote that effectively money is not
What do you mean by?
money, happiness is more.
Yeah.
I guess typically that quote comes from us in particular.
Of course it does.
Wait.
You've gone through it, right?
Yeah.
But would you say now you've written this down? As for those that still want to go through what you went through,
Mm-hmm.
how do you kind of like
Meet in the
balance
middle
it?
then. Meet in the middle. Maybe really dissect the people that you're inviting. Make sure they're people that are for you and for the long run. And make sure your DJ is litty.
I'll make sure DJ's lit. Yeah, exactly. A lot of people just want that those
That's
Snapchat rings.
crazy. Because I want everyone to... No, but do you know what it is? I want everyone to understand. You see that they want that.
Yeah.
I never wanted that. That was authentic.
Yeah, and I
get
think
it?
that's something
Get
that we
what I
do need to
mean?
acknowledge as well. Same, whilst I say that as well, our day was authentic. It wasn't
I never
synthetic.
planned
Like
for that, yeah. I didn't think, it was going to be this. I didn't know my husband was going to reply Snapchat and do that. I didn't. Even
but
me,
how can you go viral for that?
even me, it's like, I didn't know we went viral until people would be like, oh my God, I saw
saw
your
you,
wedding. Or
yeah,
your wedding was lit.
yeah.
Or your wedding was a rave. Oh my God, everyone was at your wedding. I was just like, I didn't realise.
Do you think it changed your life?
That's big. I've never thought of that.
Because you say obviously you say like, you know, there's no need to do it that way.
Yeah.
But had you not done it that way, we wouldn't know. Maybe we would still know because your destiny is your destiny at the end of the day.
That's truth.
But we wouldn't know Swodei in this light.
Maybe you're right. But I do think everything happens for a reason.
Yeah.
I didn't foresee that. My husband didn't foresee that. I didn't know. People said to me, what made you change your vows? I'm like, up until that very second, I didn't know I was going to say
Really?
that. If you watch my video, insert clip, I literally said, for better and for worse.
For richer, for poorer.
For richer and for richer.
Someone on the screen.
No, it's crazy. I literally was crying. And then my pastor said, for richer or for poorer? And then I said, for richer or for richer?
Amen.
And everyone started laughing
They're
and going,
like, oh my God.
And I was like, like, I started laughing. I was in the middle of crying when I did that.
It's authentic.
It was one of them ones where I was just thought, for richer. I'm very big on words.
Yeah, me too.
I'm that sort of person.
Yeah.
So when I was in the middle of crying, like,
Wait, hold on. What did you just say now? No.
I said, no.
I ain't never gonna be broke. Sorry, Pastor. I think that's just beautiful. I just really love healthy love, to be honest.
When I said
no, but I'm the same as well.
I wasn't even talking about finance.
No, but
I was just thinking, oh hell no, we ain't gonna struggle.
I get that opinion. That so yes, the wedding kind of changed your life, but at the same time, your destiny is always going to be your destiny, and it was authentic.
So authentic.
So we have a few more questions that I'm going to ask. So, and this is from the crowd. So this person asks, what's your thoughts on the wedding industry now compared to 2015?
I think the wedding industry now is very money making. It's really about money, and when I say the industry, I'm not talking about the consumer. I'm talking about the people that are actually given the
service.
Service. It seems that everything is just very expensive. And don't get me wrong, because I also know that cost of living's increased.
Agreed.
Also, on my wedding, remember my hairstylist, I did my own hair.
Oh, wow.
I did my bridesmaids' hairs.
You did your bridesmaids' hair?
Yeah, but I did it the night before, and you know the products to use.
Oh, that's so good though.
And I just wanted it very clean cut, simple, up in a donut bun with a little brooch, simple. Then like it's not like how it is today, where there's like frontal.
Frontal ponytail.
Like those
£300.
That was not raining.
Yeah, back in the day.
Back in 2015.
What about makeup? What was that like?
My sister's a makeup artist, and at the time she but one thing for me was a non-negotiable was my makeup artist.
Really?
And Esther.
Oh, that's nice.
And yeah, it's so funny because we became good friends from then.
Oh, that's nice.
But do you know what's so funny? I always say how God works mysterious ways. I met Esther. I used to watch her on YouTube.
Oh, is it?
One day, I wanted to go to get Chinese food from this restaurant in Elephant in Castle. And where the parking is, it doesn't work. So he parked around the back. I walked around the front.
Yeah.
Got the food on my back. I saw someone standing at the bus stop. And I was like, you're the queen. And she was like, hi. And I was like, when I get married, you're going to do my makeup. And she was like, oh my God, are you engaged? And I was like, no. And she was looking at me like,
who's this crazy girl? Okay, sis.
And then literally, it was so funny. I think the following year, but she was so lovely. So she was still like, oh yeah, da, da, da. So I think the following year, I either DM'd her or texted her. I think she gave me her number, but she knows a ton of people I know anyway. And I was like, Esther, I got engaged. And she was like, I was like, literally, you already know. So anyway, she knew she was booked for the wedding.
No way. And you didn't have to compete? Because was there like loads and loads of brides them times?
No, I didn't get married in the season. I got married in February.
Okay.
So that was still, everything was lower in price, I think up until the middle of March.
Okay, cool.
So, and it wasn't because of that. I just got married because on that date because I realised that our anniversary was on a Saturday. And I said, perfect. Them days, people weren't getting married on like Fridays, Tuesdays, Mondays. We weren't doing that.
Yeah, it was the weekend.
So it wasn't even an option, if that made sense. Like it had to be the weekend. And as the date came close, obviously I had booked her now, everything. She realised that, oh my God, my mum's already pre-booked our family holiday that we go on annually. When I promise you, this girl, my friend was like, no, as my wedding gift to you, I'm going to pay for Esther to do your evening makeup.
Right.
And then Esther was like, well, that will cover my flight, so I'll fly back early.
No way.
Before that, I will always be forever grateful to her.
What a dream.
When I say she flew from the airport and came straight to my
your wedding.
hotel room and got dressed and ready Honestly, like, and that's why I'm just like, you see, God's grace on God's favor literally
Yeah.
was like, I didn't know any other makeup artist I wanted.
Oh my
I didn't,
God.
makeup artists.
But I don't think there
weren't
was many wedding
wasn't
ones in our
many
faces like that at the time anyway,
exactly.
to be
There
fair.
wasn't many popular ones at the time. But yeah, she did my makeup, and I pray she does my makeup
Again, for the, are you asking her to, are you booking her via publicly? Everyone, you heard this now.
No. I think I've spoken briefly to her about it. But when I get home, even I'm gonna message her.
Yeah, it's a reminder. So, okay, so what else do you think is different from those times?
I think
with the industry,
honest,
or with the industry.
With the industry.
And I take it, I'm assuming you're friends with a lot of like the more, can I call them old OG type of vendors? Because now there's a lot more new, probably not as popular vendors, I would say.
That
have been going for that long.
Yeah, but it's funny because, again, I remember even our host, we had a comedian. He was legendary at the time. I think every wedding was
yeah.
And it's so funny because he did a fantabulous job.
Yeah.
And I recently spoke, my husband and I spoke on a panel at an event, and he was there, and I was just like, when vow renewal's coming, and he was just like, just let me know when.
Aww.
And it's like, it's still beautiful because I'm sure people have that now.
Yeah.
The relationships that
you build
through using people's services. I don't know if it's like that now, but it definitely was like that in my day.
What about price? What about price wise? Have you gone and contacted a vendor thinking, okay, so first things first, how much, I don't want to talk about just hair and makeup, but things like, what else does a woman need when she's getting married?
Even like music.
Yeah, okay, let's say music, food,
so
those
there's
kind of
someone
things.
that we wanted to use for the food this time, and it's £60 per head.
How much was it at your
£11.50. And mind you, we used a family member, but she still was an official caterer anyway. But at the time, it was £11.50 or £12 per head per person. So it was still a lot of money.
Yeah, I was about to say, that's still a lot of money, but to be £60 now.
But remember, it was 440 people were
seated,
paying for at that time. So it was about £6,000 anyway. But to be paying the same £6,000 for 100 people, that's crazy.
Mad. But then what does that entail? Does that entail like starter canapes? What does it entail?
There was canapes, there was starters.
So the exact same service.
So it's not her this time.
Oh, okay,
This was another more modern person that we wanted to use. And my mum was talking to me the other day, and she said, "Oh, maybe you should just go with Auntie so and so." And I said, "Yeah,
you know what? Why not?
Her food's delicious."
Yeah.
And when it's all said and done, you don't want it to be a thing where you're I always think like, is it worth it?
Yeah, especially now that you're like deep into your marriage as well, like, and you've had that experience as well.
Exactly.
So you don't necessarily need to relive it. The objective this time is to have that intimacy. It's to have all eyes on him, all eyes on you.
You've just said it right. The objective this time is not for everyone else.
Yeah.
This is not for the people that are coming to witness.
Yeah,
this is for us.
Yeah.
And I think that's it. The first time when we got married in 2015, it very much, without us realizing, subconsciously was for everyone else.
Of course, yeah.
And this time round, no.
So then that's a nice segue into the second question. And the second question was, what would you do differently this time?
Definitely, we've both been a lot more choosy with who we've invited. And I also say, if people love you and celebrate you, even if they're not invited, they'll still love you and celebrate you. And if there's people that are like, I can't believe you didn't invite me, and they're upset or angry, those people definitely aren't for you, because they would understand at that moment it's not about them.
True.
It's about you.
True.
So if you can't be a part of the day, realistically, cost of living, that weddings are a very intimate thing.
Especially now where we speak about the cost openly now as a community.
Exactly. So I think you'd understand that, okay, this is beautiful for them. I'm happy and proud of them. and I understand. You wouldn't even be thinking about you, if that makes sense.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. That makes complete sense.
So yeah, I'd say yeah, I would. One thing I would definitely not do is invite as many people.
Yes, well, yeah.
I wouldn't go ham on stuff like having 2 or 3 DJs.
But how many DJs did you have the first time?
I think 2 or 3.
Why different DJs?
Because I had like one that was more suited for like the adults, and I think that's the smart part about having traditional.
Yeah.
Yeah. So in the
'Cause
Sierra Leonean culture, there's a part where you kind of walk in with your gele on it or traditional or whatever, and they dance for the Yawu's mum and the Oko's mum.
Yeah.
And it's a big thing. It's called
Yeah.
beat gumbe.
Yeah.
Like, they have this drum thing.
Yeah, yeah,
And they
yeah.
beat it, and
Yeah.
everyone's proper dancing for the mum of the bride, and then the mum of the groom, and then the groom and the wife, the bride, come in, and then they kind of dance for them. And it's like, in hindsight, I just feel like I understand why people do separate.
Yeah.
This time, one DJ is okay.
Oh yeah, because those times it was more normal to have the trad and white in one day.
Exactly.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I did consider that, and I was just like, I need
No, we
separation.
didn't do that
Yeah.
either.
But cost effectiveness, and that's really good then, because that means that for everything you spent about 40.
But that's what I'm saying. We
That's
didn't
not
have a
bad.
traditional. That was just a little traditional segment.
Okay, I get what you're
When I say
saying. I
segment,
get what
I
you're
mean
saying.
it lasted like half an hour.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. But I think that's kind of cool. So, okay, so DJ you would have done differently.
Yeah.
Catering, is there anything you would have changed about your catering? Like,
No, the food was delish.
Yeah?
And there was an abundance of
so you're
it.
happy. What about your dress?
And the price. Oh my
sorry.
gosh. I always say, I think this about every bride personally.
Yeah.
If you were to get married every year to the same person,
Yeah.
obviously, your bridal dress will change.
To change everything.
Every single year.
I wish I could do a wedding every single year. If it was going to cost me the same amount as like a birthday dinner, I would do a wedding every single year.
Don't you see that? I don't know if
shame
you
in that.
watched Basketball Wives, Jackie Christie.
Yeah.
Every
Literally,
year.
yeah.
She
If I
says
had
if
the
you
money,
spend time
or when I get the money,
planning a
sorry,
wedding,
every
ain't no
year.
time to be planning a
Yeah.
divorce.
Anniversary, straight up.
I said, I know that's
Yeah,
right.
yeah, that's me.
Honestly.
So no, I get you. So you were content with the dress that you had at that time. Were you content with the price that you spent at that time?
I went all the way to Thailand to get my dress made, and it was cheap.
Thailand. How much was that? So,
Maybe like 200,
but how much was the flight though?
maybe like 700.
So you're still looking at like
I went with my auntie.
7 plus 2 is not like £900. But did you get more for
The
your money?
dress, so for a similar style dress, I think I could have taken more time to actually also decipher the dress I wanted. There was just so many to choose from, and I was very much like, oh my gosh, this is a lot. There's a lot to
Thailand,
pick
though.
from. What is it called? She used to. Pardon me, guys. I've got baby brain.
It's okay. Same here. It's fine.
She used to trade,
Oh, okay, cool.
so she was familiar with Bangkok. So we went to Bangkok in Thailand, and she took me to a particular people. They literally made my dress from scratch in like 3 days.
No.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like what people are doing with Turkey. I don't know if you've seen like on
Oh,
TikTok, like how people go to Turkey now to
Is
like, yeah, people go
it?
to Turkey, and the Turkey, they're on the same vibe. I think the price is more favorable in Thailand, definitely. Because Turkey, you're still going to pay a bit of a
I mean,
pretty
it was 10
penny.
years ago. It was 10 years
Oh,
ago.
so Thailand
I don't-
might be more expensive now.
It might be. You'd have to do
But
your
girls, we
research.
found a new location, Thailand. Check it out. Maybe,
Yeah,
I don't know.
and it didn't hurt that the actual country is lovely.
Yeah.
And food was banging.
Oh yeah,
It was a nice
there's
little
quick stop to
trip.
Bali on the way, maybe.
We stopped in China. And that was a bit wild.
Really? You stopped in China, did you say?
Yeah, but it was a bit wild.
I
It
can
was
imagine.
a lot. It was very.
I can
like,
imagine.
A swarm of people. It was loads.
What, helping you
of
to do the
people.
dress?
No, in China. And when
Oh,
we
just in
stopped there, it
general.
was
Oh,
just-
yeah.
it was
I can
overwhelming.
imagine.
But no, they're top notch.
Really?
They made bare things. They made my husband's suit, my dress, my page boys' blazers, all my Usher. They made my Usher. I can't remember, but they definitely made all the bow ties for the groomsmen, the page boys' blazers, and the page boys. Oh, they look
So how did you get it back
some-
to the UK?
Oh, I kind of packed light. I knew I
Oh,
was-
okay. So you
like,
knew you
know
were
when
going.
came
You're on a
like,
mission
Yeah, we came
to
knowing
work.
that we're gonna have another suitcase that we're
Okay.
gonna purchase out there, and we're
Okay.
gonna pay for. We already knew like
Okay.
we've got to pay for extra suitcase to come, and we did that, and yeah, it was
Question:
quite smooth.
how far out as well did you do the? Because obviously we're human, so we put on weight, we lose weight.
Yeah.
So how far from the wedding to when you went to Thailand? How far was that gap?
So around this time was before Christmas
December.
though.
Okay, cool.
So I think I got back maybe like a week before Christmas.
Oh wow, you were working.
Yeah, and then funnily enough, yeah, I told them like, okay, can you just make sure that the hips are like maybe 1 inch smaller, waist 2 inch smaller, da da da. And then when it got to the end of January, my auntie, that's a seamstress, tried it on me and it was too big.
So you lost the weight. Well, that's always the better side to be on than gaining the
of
weight and
course.
then.
So then she just had to take it in a little bit more, which I was happy about. But yeah, I would never pick that dress again.
Really? Oh, well, I mean, it's 10 years
so
down the line.
funny.
You would think that your taste and your
It's so
style
funny.
has changed
I
by
always
now.
say like I wouldn't necessarily have gone for a mermaid dress in hindsight. Not because there's anything wrong with it, but I'm just like, everyone knows I got a figure. Like,
Yeah.
I'm just like,
Yeah,
you
I
can show
know.
your figure in jeans and t-shirt
But-
even. It's not that deep. Like to have.
Yeah, I know.
I was like, my husband
But you
knows what
wanna-
he's dealing with already. Like, I just think like I would have wanted to be more like a queen on the day.
Yeah.
Or
Oh,
a
that's nice.
princess in hindsight.
So what have you gone for this time then? Oh, sorry, you're the bride.
You gotta
we'll
have to
find
wait and
out.
see, honey.
We will find out next year. Oh my God.
It's
So
sooner than you think. I think it's
have you
like
traveled this
9
time for the dress? Sorry, there's something in my eye.
No. This time, when I say I
You're taking it
kept everything
easy.
so easy, like I'm not stressed about nothing because it's, it is, I've learnt about weddings and stuff. It's a day. And I remember waking up the following morning after my wedding,
Yeah.
being like, oh, it's all over.
Yeah, I
like,
know.
it kind of makes you feel a bit like you get into the blues a little bit.
I
There's nothing else to do now.
I know.
And I remember just turning around to my husband. I said, I walked in our new flat, and I said, it's just me and you now.
Yeah,
Like,
but that's it.
We were literally giggling. No, we were in the sorry, we slept in a hotel, and then after that night,
Then it became
yeah,
real.
that's when it became real because we had gone to the flat. Next morning we woke up and we were like,
Okay, we're married.
well, what do we do now? And that's the thing. I feel like you kind of throw yourself into this wedding stuff so deep, and then when it's finished, it's kind of like,
That's it. It's like
you forget what about the marriage.
it's like a Cinderella moment, isn't it? Like that's it. It's midnight now. That's it.
Yeah.
Done. Literally midnight. Done.
Literally, and the day goes so quick.
Last question on my list of questions is, hey, this person says, hey, Swodei.
Hey.
what made you stick with EJ through the trial? I'm not too sure what trial they're referring to, but trial which may have arisen before marriage. What does that mean?
I assume they mean through the trials that may have arisen.
Okay, so like before you became husband and wife, what made you, how did you know he was the one? I guess kind of the question they're asking.
I feel like these questions are never straightforward to answer. Like, how do you know someone's the one? You don't. I don't believe in the one. I believe that, some people will be like, do you believe like God will give you one person that he creates? I'm like, no, I don't think that's how it works. There's a lot of people that could meet requirements that we have and end up, going well with us. But for him, EJ is consistent. He's still consistent to this day. Like, he's been consistent. He ticks a load of boxes. And more than anything, like, I think what has kept us together at that point for me to know he was the one that I wanted to marry is that he was 100% sure about me. He made me happy. He honored me. He was loyal. He was respectful. And he prayed for me. And that was a big deal for me, And he was still sought in God, which I loved. What else would I say? I feel like our overall goals and our vision aligned. And I think that's something that a lot of couples need to make sure that their goals and vision align. Like, do you want children? How would you raise them? We spoke a lot, and EJ wasn't always a communicator, but I'm a big communicator.
Yappers United, as I call it.
I'm a communicator. The thing is, sometimes I might go a little bit quiet. I always say I'm an ambivert because I could be so extroverted.
Yeah.
But then at home, sometimes I could be so introverted.
Yeah.
And I always say, like, in the beginning of our marriage, before we had kids, I used to love that sometimes I could be in my room for the whole day, EJ be in the front room for the whole day. Nothing's wrong. And it will be like, all right, babe, I'm ready to go to sleep. And we'll be like, yeah, come on, then we're going to go to bed now. So it's that I might go to him and say, I'm ready to go to bed now. And we'll be going to bed together. Like, but it's like,
that's security, isn't it?
Exactly.
Security in the relationship.
And that's it. I was very secure with him.
No.
I still am. I still feel like, you know, in the Bible, it talks of like a man's rib. Like, although I don't believe in all like soulmates and all that stuff, I still kind of believe that he's mine. If that makes sense. Like, we just get it. He just gets it. He's like my person.
Yeah.
And it's taken time, obviously, but we've been together for time.
Sis, I understand. I
always say to him, like, at this point now, for example, we've been together almost half our life.
Yeah, realistically,
So,
you've grown up more than you've been together more longer than
it's
English.
coming up to it. I get you, because we've been together 17 years.
Wow.
And we started going out when we were
In
19.
like 19.
So I always say,
nearly half your life.
Almost half my life.
That's mad.
So I'm just like, I think after 7 years, if I wasn't sure, I wouldn't have gotten married. But I was very sure. So I wasn't ever on my wedding day like anxious, like, oh my God, is he going to say I do?
But like some would say, and we briefly touched on it, some would say as a 26-year-old, did you really, really know though? Because as a 26-year-old, they'll say, oh, you were quite young to know. Some people consider 26 young.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I don't. I think that is the age that you should be thinking of like marriage and
I know
settling.
people that got married way younger.
Yeah. And
the thing is, if I didn't know at 26, I wouldn't have known at 24 or 23 or 22. He engaged me at 24, remember? So, and I was fresh 24, as in a couple of weeks after my birthday was his birthday. So my thing is, if I didn't know, I would have just said no. But when he proposed to me, oh God, that was a funny day.
How'd that go?
It was nice. It was in front of church. He was giving a testimony because it was testimony.
It was at church?
Yeah.
Oh, so you guys are knees deep.
Yeah.
Wow.
And he was kind of giving a testimony about, like, you know, how his life's changed, and some of his people that he grew up with, like, aren't here to tell the story, or whether they're in prison, or, you know, I don't know if we're allowed to say DIE.
Yeah,
or DEA.
Oh, yeah, okay.
But, you know, these platforms.
Yeah, I know. Penalize it. Yeah, thank you.
So he was just like, he's just grateful to God. And then he said, the person that kind of encouraged him to come to church. And then he was like, furthermore, like, come up. And I was just like, I was so confused in that moment. I was just thinking, come up for what? Like,
oh my God.
And not just that, in the ministry we were in at the time, it's not like you wouldn't really flaunt your relationship like that. So I was like, he's being a bit bold.
You're being a bit loud right now.
Yeah, he's being very loud. And my husband is very, if you know him, you'll know he can be very loud.
Yeah.
But he's very, like, cool, calm, collected. Like that. Very, can kind of be inconspicuous a bit. And when I came up, I said, wow. I walked up to him and he was already on one knee. I said,
okay, so this is what we're about to do.
Straight away I was crying, my lash was hanging. Like, I kept to see like a shadow. All that time it was my eyelash. So imagine like all your videos and pictures. Like
just there fixing one lash.
Just hanging, I didn't even know. My friend came up to me afterwards, like, trying to pinch my lash back together.
But the question I've got one last question, and my question is, I want to know, I really want to ask this question. I don't know how. Anyway, I'm going to say what's in my brain and hopefully you get it.
Yeah.
But like, how have you guys handled, or did you guys get any like hate? Because at first everyone loves you when it's your wedding day. It's like, it's lit.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like, okay, you know, the blogs were saying, anyway, this marriage is not going to last. And I'm sure there's some people literally sitting at home as well, thinking what the blogs are saying as well. Let's be real. when people, or did people start moving funny, and how did you guys handle that as a couple? Because I do think it's something that we also don't speak about as a community as well. Am I making sense in my question?
When you say
So when I say jealousy, pretty much. Jealousy or envy.
You lot don't know yet. My mom always says to me, of course people look on you two and are jealous of what you have. Because it's hard to find in this generation. And I'm always just like, how do you be jealous of something that you don't even know
what's going on or
and
what it is?
I'm always like, God forbid, like I'm not the sort of person that looks onto other people's relationship and be like, oh my God, I want that. Because what happens behind closed doors, you'll never know. And when I got married is when people would start coming and talking to me about certain things they were going through in their relationships. And then I was like, oh my God, and this is the relationship. I was even thinking, oh my God, they're amazing. And it's not to say they're not amazing, but in life, we're all flawed, we're all human.
Yeah.
Etc. Jealousy comes and goes, I guess.
But how did you guys handle it as a couple?
You just look at each other and look to God. Like, we're not really people pleasers, if I'm honest. We're not really people that are like concerned much on other people, because especially my husband, he's very much like, no, who cares about what they think kind of thing. And he is very big on, I remember there was a time where people would say that, like it comes across like I wear the trousers. I'm like, you don't even know a damn thing.
Yeah, diddly squat.
Because I always say like, I'm a strong character, or I'm a confident woman, I'm bold. And one thing I love about my husband, he never asks me to change. He always is like, go do you, babe.
Yeah,
like, go
do your big
babe.
one.
Go shine it. Like he'll be so he literally is like, get him, girl. Like, you know what I'm saying? Get him, girl. Like he's very much like that. Like he's not trying to be less of you so that other people. So when people say things like that, or like, oh, do you wear the trousers? And I'm like, you don't know, boy. I'm like, for me to be a strong woman that I am, trust me, I need a stronger man. And a strong alpha male to me doesn't walk around saying I'm an alpha male.
Yeah, 100%.
It's the ones that are quietly taking care of business. And he does just
standing on business.
Honestly, so.
But then, just so that I hit the nail on the head with the question, I'm not necessarily saying about people pleasing, because I think I would hope some people listening are also along the same lines, but more so like when you hear through the grapevine, like like someone that you invited to your wedding says, oh, you heard through the grapevine they were talking about you guys as a couple. What's your initial reaction? I would say, actually, that's the question I'm asking. How do you initially react? How do you initially feel? And then obviously you do you.
Something I heard. And I'm okay with the girl.
Yeah.
Like, no qualms. You just have to laugh sometimes.
Yeah.
After I got married, I heard that my husband and I rushed our wedding, because I was pregnant. And I was just like, well, I guess 9 months will pass and they'll still see no baby. Like, because I was just thinking,
why would you say that?
And obviously, I heard this. Sorry, no, actually, I didn't hear it after when it was just before my wedding.
Okay.
So obviously, I think when the person that was even invited, it's like I was almost like, should I revoke?
Them? Yeah, should I revoke?
I was just kind of like, sometimes you just have to be silent and let what it
time
is
will tell.
Talk,
yeah,
if that makes sense. And I'm very much in like, for the last couple of years, I'm very trying to like perfect. Let God fight your battle.
It's hard.
Yeah, don't use your mouth.
It's
just
hard.
Let God do it. If that makes sense. It's hard though. But yeah. So on the day she came, she was wild, and she left and didn't have him to say. And that's life, isn't it? Like, people have things to say. I don't get much people coming back up to me saying, "Oh yeah, this person said," or "I heard." But some people have said stuff like, "Oh, so and so's wedding was better," or "This person's wedding was better," and I'm like, "That's
like not a competition."
Well, I'm not interested in that.
Yeah,
so
that's mad that someone says that though.
If you feel that so and so's wedding was better, that's absolutely fine. You're entitled to your opinion.
Fair enough.
Like,
fair enough.
What's that got to do with me?
It's true. It's true.
When you think about it, like so. You just kind of have to have tunnel vision
and just focus on
half,
do you.
And
I love that. Okay, cool. Well, we're about to round up now. Last and final question, and just like straight to the point, which is, so Swodei today, 2024 Swodei, 2024 bride Swodei. What would you say to 2015 bride Swodei? What advice would you give to her, knowing what you know now?
everyone you're inviting won't be in your life in 2025.
Jesus. Well, Swodei in 2015. I hope you heard that. If you're watching this. But on that note, before we go, Swodei, where can everybody find you if they're not following you already?
You can find me on Instagram, Faithfully Swads. That's FaithfullySwodz. And same for TikTok. And as I said, I will be launching my podcast, which is Rules of Relationships.
Yay!
Yeah.
So guys, go
that
check it
will
out.
be on YouTube and other platforms for podcasts. And yeah, you'll be able to find all of that on my Instagram eventually anyway. So yeah.
Yeah, so Swodei, I just want to say thank you
you for
so much for
having
coming
me.
to the Bridezillas. I really appreciate it. And guys, until next time, see you in the next episode. Bye. Woohoo!
Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you for coming.
I said to my
Thank
sister,
you.
and she's older than me, and I was like, "Oh, I'm going on the Bridezillas." She was like, "I watch that all the time."
Does she
I
watch
was like, "I
it? She's
didn't
older
know."
than you. Oh
Yeah,
my God.
she got married the year after me as well,
Oh.
2016. She was a 2016 bride.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I'm so happy I've done it. For Christmas. So this is my Christmas, guys. And my sky. That's to mention to children and let you know for the lovely cake. You can be hydrated and moisturized this episode.